Hey guys, Dakara here and welcome back to my channel, and today we're on Fringe Season 1 Episode 3. I'm really hyped to get stuck into this. I've enjoyed the last two. I still think there's plenty obviously to dive into when it comes to the characters, but I'm already growing those attachments quite early on, which is nice. It's always a good thing when you feel a connection early on. And yes, I have dyed my hair again because I just always get bored. Moving on, let's roll that intro and get stuck into it. Here we go.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. It's been 3 months since I confessed.
Oh God, have you killed someone?
Do you believe that God can speak to you, Father?
Of course I do.
What about the devil, then?
Do you want to confess something, my son?
And do you also speak to the devil?
I see things. It's happening again, and I'm scared.
Okay, if you watch someone put a gas mask on, you know you're in trouble. Wait, no one's attacked him. Did she put that there on purpose? Because it looked as though she did.
Son, come back.
The paper's going to be a clue. No thanks.
Let's go, buddy. What's the problem?
What's the problem? I'm walking here. That was so bad. I apologize. Sheesh. I feel like I'm doing the wrong tune. I read that as geometry then, and I was like, that's not a word. It's cemetery.
Just are in the hand of God. No torment shall touch them.
Now Nina's done with his body. Now he can be buried.
And their passing away was thought an affliction.
Is that Anya? He's only looking at her.
It's over now.
He wears like next to no makeup, but she's very pretty.
Her son died a hero serving his country.
He used to be Charlie. I mean, he told me he loved me.
He might have done.
But he said he loved me too.
Agent Dunham, I need you to come with me.
Yes, sir.
You brought your own sweetener?
I mean, I do that.
It's my medication. You're not on any medication, Walter. Been making it myself in the lab.
How is he getting his hands on him? Or can he just order stuff like that?
You were supposed to check in before you came home.
Tell anybody else that I'm here. You're the first one of the bunch I'm gonna come after.
Huh. Has he seen this before?
They're like mosquitoes trapped in amber.
Wait, so is all that solid in there?
Imagine that the material was released in gaseous form before solidification.
Yeah, no way, it's solid in there. Guessing it's the wrong bag?
It's not here.
Were they in St. Anne's Cathedral then? Like, where were they? So he has premonitions.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay, that'd be very alarming if you saw someone that just drew that.
Who was he, Peter?
Sorry?
The guy, yeah, he saw.
You in some kind of trouble?
Oh, it was nothing. He was harassing the waitress. I just told him to cut it out.
He knows he's lying. Walter sees a lot more than he acts as though he does.
Stop. Go back. Can we close in on that woman?
They'll realise that the bags wasn't in the bus.
What is it?
That backpack. I just saw that woman. That backpack wasn't there. Evelina Mendoza. She's a federal employee.
The plot thickens. Special agent.
It appears whoever attacked the bus this morning was interested in one of her effects. Any idea what she could have been carrying?
I wish I could be more helpful.
Liar. He's lying.
You have been Agent Davidson. Thank you.
You've been helpful because we know that you're lying.
Have you spoken with her family?
She's got more colour than me and she's dead.
I'd like to say goodbye.
Of course.
She got the item on her and he's going to check. I might be off my game, guys. Maybe he just had a relationship with her and that's what she could relate to with Scott. Agent Scott.
He was able to recreate the material from the crime scene.
Turned solid when it met the nitrogen in the atmosphere, instantly immobilizing and suffocating the passengers.
What a horrible way to go.
I'll give you 6 guesses, and the first 5 don't count.
Massive dynamic.
Bum, 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 bum.
You're looking at depictions of dozens of attacks, accidents, disasters we've seen over the last year.
How is this going to link to, like, Fringe science, though? Has someone experimented on this guy?
Several of those incidents have never been made public. It was either drawn or constructed before the event depicted.
Every case I investigate has a tie back to this company.
I think maybe you have it backwards.
No, I don't.
So massive that just about everything in the world of science and technology has a tie back to us.
Oh, is that backwards?
I could say something of the same to you, couldn't I? At least 3 of them have occurred right in your own backyard, that you yourself were somehow responsible.
She's good, isn't she? Oh, that's a green screen. Very clearly a green screen.
I suppose if you had access to the case files, you'd know that we'd already shared all the information we have.
Thank you for the information.
Well, she's planted that seed very well there. Nina, I mean, with Olivia.
This one gonna happen too, Roy?
Look, I can be anywhere, at home or at work.
Whatever he's drew there is going to happen, but he'll be inside and they'll know it's not him.
Roy's feelings
What is he doing?
began roughly when we became aware of the pattern.
Meaning what?
I'm not entirely sure yet, but it's hard to say he's lying.
That's making me need the toilet, Walter.
I have a hard time accepting that that man is hearing another person's thoughts.
Which is why I would like to prove it.
And how would you do that?
Am I required to keep him alive?
That would probably be best.
Ah, okay.
Need to know what it is I'm dealing with.
And you will, when you're ready.
Couldn't he just tell her what it is and say, but you don't know that, you know? So then she's in the know, but she won't share that information with anybody else.
You think we'll be able to identify whose thoughts they are?
That's preposterous. May be able to intercept them.
Don't be so silly, Peter.
What's happening?
No idea.
Stop it. Turn the machine off.
Interested to find out.
His head's going to explode.
Something's wrong!
Shut it down now!
Okay, at least he got pulled out.
Something in the blood. Magnetic compound of some kind.
It would have ripped your body apart.
Would have been quite a mess.
Why would there be metal in his blood? That's not normal, right?
So somebody has experimented on him. So it was my first idea.
They wanted to use the network to send their most clandestine information. They called it the Ghost Network, to develop a method where they could transmit directly from one person to another.
Roy McComb was one of your test subjects.
It was Walter that did the tests.
He was a sophomore volunteering for psych experiments. Did you ever even bother to explain to him what you were doing?
Well, it wouldn't have been a very secret experiment if I had.
Roy McComb will be fine. No thanks to my father's attempts to turn him into a human walkie-talkie.
Someone else, it seems, has perfected our Ghost Network. Note that the rotary movement gives the impression of a three-dimensional tunnel.
Oh my god, that was messing with my head.
Your brain perceives first a duck, then a rabbit, then a duck again. The image is neither.
What is it then? I saw a duck.
Magnetic neurostimulator I built in 1983. Most likely where I left it 17 years ago. Hidden in a wall in our old house in Cambridge.
How many things has he hidden? Oh, he had a nice house.
Knock on the door, ask them if we can tear out their walls.
Pretty much.
No doorbells. There's a doorbell right there. Naughty, naughty.
This is barely even a crime. I used to live here.
Oh, she's impressed by that.
Normal pupil response.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Astrid for some weird reason.
The answer is no. I may encourage some drug use.
No, none.
Any food allergies?
Not that I'm aware of.
He's got some great hair on him.
Sort of a relief, right? Knowing there's a rational explanation.
I wouldn't exactly call any of this rational.
Horror relief.
So where's your mother now?
That's a story for another time.
Ah. But I want to know.
My mom had this covered up.
Oh my god, he's brilliant, isn't he? I bet the amount of secrets he has is wild.
Dr. Bishop, you look really familiar to me.
In the mental institution where I live. You'll need a moment.
Oh my god, the comedy in this.
We found your equipment.
Oh, it just looked like papers. I didn't realize there was equipment in there as well.
I think it's time for some intracranial penetration. This won't hurt.
I feel like it will hurt though, Walter. You're putting a needle towards his head. Or is that a drill? It is a drill. No, no, no.
Is this Poli-Sci 101?
Not remotely.
Oh. Why is that so dark? Because of all the metal? Can they not just give him like a blood transfusion?
I believe there are clusters of metal in the visual centers of your brain. I'm going to attempt to move them.
Oh god, please don't blow his head up.
I need you to tell me any sensations.
It's going to be like a blot test.
Perfectly natural. You may also experience an involuntary bowel movement.
Oh, lovely.
The 200 gauss.
Don't do that. Stop, I said.
What did you say?
Oh, he's speaking in a different language.
I think that's Latin.
It is. He just said, hour. Something's happening in an hour.
South Station in an hour.
An exchange at South Station. I think someone's meeting at South Station to make an exchange.
It's going to be that agent that passed away. It's going to be that him dropping off whatever at the station. That's my guess. Yeah, it was on her person. That's why you wanted to see her. His tux. Yeah. I'm good. I doubt myself very quickly, but I shouldn't because I nailed that.
I've been asked to officially ID her body.
In the palm of her hand. Oh, you little rat. Holy Jesus. So she must have known that was in there. How did that get in there? Because she looked so shocked and surprised, but like, just know she was going to die.
She was hiding it in her hand. I'm heading to South Station now.
And in the meantime, I'm sending the field assist your way.
Oh, actually, I bet she knew that she had to swap the bag, so she took it off and put it in her hand, but she didn't know about the gas.
Are you at South Station?
Yeah, why?
So are they. They're checking to make sure that Davidson wasn't followed. I think that's it for now.
I mean, you do look like a cop. She looks like a cop, as does Charlie.
Go ahead.
Hello? I'm on my mobile. It's literally what that is. Trigger Happy TV. Anyone? Oh, don't lose him. Oh, he's already passed it over. It's too late. He's already passed it over to the guy. And was shot in that time. So the guy had a silencer on him. Oh, jeez. Oh, that'd be me. I'd be the person that got knocked over. Just in the way. FBI! Oh, it's a ghost. He's got a ghost on him.
Drop the gun now! Put your hands where I can see them.
Is he going to get killed? He's going to kill himself. I thought someone else was going to shoot him. He'd rather die than get caught there. Olivia's been seeing some things since the show started. It just looks like a sweet that's been like sucked down to like the tiny, tiny little sweet.
All that trouble for this.
So 11 innocent people died today, all for something we know nothing about.
Do you ever smile, Dunham?
Because this is a win. Is that what he's gonna say?
Dr. Bishop gave me something for the pain.
Vicodin. That's it, I promise.
Promise. Hand on heart.
The South Station with the cavalry, they realized the Ghost Network was compromised and stopped broadcasting on it.
He's at Massive Dynamic. Can we not trust him?
You can understand why I don't want to go through channels.
Is this because of our interest in Agent Dunham?
Seems a bit early to be poaching my newest hire.
I want nothing but the best for her.
Of course you do.
But why give her that? What is he getting out of that? So are these, they're in partnership? I am confusion.
We found another one.
Another, you say?
Been pulling information from the disk for the last 72 hours.
Let me know when it's finished.
That's John Scott on the table. So who did they bury? Yeah, it is. They buried someone else. Either that or it's an empty casket. Ooh. Another episode down, and I feel as though this one picked up the pace. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting more used to the flow of the episodes and the characters, or if this episode was just a little bit higher in quality. I'm not too sure yet. But either way, loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I'm a little confused about the relationship between Broyles and Nina. So clearly it's political and they're both of high power, but I don't really understand why he went to her with this item, not with us not knowing what he was going to get out of it as well, unless he's just using this piece as like an olive branch to Nina to say, here, have it, but you leave Olivia alone. Is that what's going on? Because like she said, he's protective of her, which I like. I want that to be the case. I mean, he said that he's protective of all his agents, and if that's the case, then he should be protective of John Scott. And does he know that he's in that lab just next door? Like, I've got so many questions about it. I want to think that Broyles has no idea that Scott is in there, and Nina's keeping that from him, but she needs Scott to get the information out of his head. That's what I'm gonna go with. Because they said that this is going to be the last piece to solve, was it the encryption? I'm not sure. I'll watch it again when I'm editing it, but a lot to process when watching this show because the science is such a massive part of it. So the science speak is it sometimes goes over my head, but I try my best to focus on what they're saying. I felt very much like Olivia, where she's like, sorry, I don't know why we're here. And then Peter just being like, oh, just say you do so we can move on. But I love Walter, and the more that Walter speaks, I'm all for. So I'd be exactly the same as Olivia, and I'd say, yeah, sorry, I don't follow. Can you please continue? The comedy as well, just while speaking of Walter, is the comedic timing, I think, is perfect because it's said in there so subtly. And if you're not focused, you will miss the joke. But I do think that it adds to that, just the humour when you do catch it, and it just feels quite rewarding. Like it's childlike in a lot of ways, but it just makes me chuckle. I'm very, very fond of it, for sure. And I just want to hug Walter and tell him that it's going to be okay, and try to avoid the drugs. Say, Walter, come on now. My guy, you don't need that stuff. Let's think about everywhere that you've hidden something and just collect it one by one. That's what I think you should do. Because he's clearly hid stuff all over the place, and the things that he's hidden are so important to Fringe science. And my guess is that every like FBI case that they have to investigate. He's going to be linked to it from some kind of experiment when he was younger, and because he obviously worked with William Bell, and William Bell runs Massive Dynamic. We haven't seen William Bell yet, right? Or have I forgotten that from the pilot? Because it has been a hot minute since I watched the pilot now, right? 2 months ago. I don't remember seeing William Bell, but they did mention his name. And if that's the case, I'm going to predict that his reveal will be a big one. And maybe Walter will come face to face with him and then be like, you took everything from me, and there'll be a big uproar. Although it seems like Nina runs everything at the minute. It's either William Bell is no longer with us, but they want the world to think that he is, or he's just constantly just tanning it up somewhere, enjoying life as the money comes rolling in. I don't know. What else can I discuss with this episode? The psychic thing I found quite interesting. I was thinking it was premonition, but if he can, you know, tap into like a signal that the normal person can't, that makes more sense to me, and I want to like that more so than, you know, he's just psychic and that's it, which is he's been given a gift and we don't know why. But no, he's an experiment, and because of the experiment, it has led to him being able to tap into this signal. So I much prefer the latter than the psychic option. I'm all for psychics when it's like a sci-fi show and, you know, it's very blatant. That's completely fine. But because this show is wrapped so deeply within fringe science, I don't know, I prefer it. I also want to point out that Peter is growing on me so much more now. Obviously the guy's attractive, so I like him anyway, from nostalgia with Dawson's Creek and all the rest of it. But as it comes to this show and Peter, I've just been kind of like, you know, he seems nice. But this episode, like, I loved his passion and I loved his strength when he went to the guy that was taking pictures of him without his permission. He's not afraid to take care of himself and others. You can see that he's so passionate about helping those and protecting those that are in danger. I'm wondering if it's because Walter he's just willing to go to the extremes for science. He gives me the vibe that he will happily kill if it means learning something, whereas Peter's more tapped into his humanity and is like, no, that is wrong, we're not doing that. I get it's science, but there is a line, and Walter crosses it quite often. So I did like when Walter you know, was going to push the guy further, and Peter stepped up and was like, no, we're not doing that, Astrid, don't you dare. So there's definitely characteristics within Peter now that I'm definitely warming to. Olivia still feels very distant to me, which is odd because she's the lead, she is the main character, yet I feel as though we're not really getting much of her right now, other than how her relationships are altering and how other people are sort of communicating with her rather than her herself. So hopefully I warm to Olivia more so as well. I mean, I like her, I don't hate the girl, it's just I want to know her better. Astrid again seems lovely, and the fact that Peter pointed out that Walter keeps forgetting her name as well is, yeah, it's questionable. He's like he's there, but he's in a different time or something like that. Like, I think sometimes he jumps a bit and he sees Peter as when he was little, and he relates to Peter that way, like he's a child. And yeah, sometimes he catches himself drifting into another, it's like dimension, I don't even know. But Astrid seems to handle him quite well. You can see she's soaking everything up and she just does her job, keeps her head down and cracks on, which, you know, Fair play. I appreciate. But Walter, he's just a favourite by a long shot for me. Yes, he's kooky. Yes, he's brutal. Yes, he's extremely intelligent and all of the above. But the main thing for me is just that he has this warmth to him, considering his words can be quite cold at times and very distant. He still oozes, you know, this naivety that I'm drawn to. So yeah, I want to see more of the show, guys. I'm enjoying it a lot, so it's a good job because we're getting stuck in now. Episode 3 complete. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed my reaction. Don't forget, no spoilers, please and thank you in the comments. I'm just going to enjoy this journey as best I can, spoiler free, I hope. And yeah, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you could be so kind, but as always, there's no pressure here. I would just love to have you. Follow my links and description of this video to check that out. All of these videos in their extended format from Patreon, so if you're interested in that, again, link in the description. And I hope to see you all again soon for another video. Thank you so much. Goodbye for now. Before we completely sign off, let's quickly take a comment from the Dat Pack. And today I've chosen Monsieur Flynn. And they say, Buffy and Firefly have always been on a different level for me personally. But as far as other shows goes, Fringe is up there as well. Definitely top 10, probably top 5, even though it's been a while since I've considered my TV show rankings. Much like you, I've always had a soft spot for Pacey Joshua Jackson, so it's a no-brainer to check this out back in the day when it aired, and it got me really hooked pretty early on. I think I'm having that same experience right now, because it's like the nostalgia of an old show that I truly loved. I would love to watch that again, maybe do a rewatch sometime. But yeah, I love feeling nostalgic, and yes, the character of Peter is different to Pacey, but as soon as you see certain similarities, you're like right back there, back to my youth, so it feels good. I do like the thought of this being in your top 5 though, because with Buffy and Firefly being in my top 5, it just makes sense that I would like this as well. Early days, don't get me wrong, very early days, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing so far. But thank you so much, Flynn, for watching and for supporting over on Patreon as well. I appreciate you a lot. And don't forget, guys, if you would like to see one of your comments at the end of these videos, then don't forget to leave them in the comments section below. Maybe yours will be next. But until next time, goodbye for now.